Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about recentering and why it is one of the most important things in the golf swing. So first of all, what is recentering? So if we look at a player from face on, when that player makes a backswing and they get to the top, ideally we would want some pressure shift off the golf ball, so moving into the right leg so that we're loading into the trail leg to push back towards the target. Now the recentering move is something that pretty much every professional or really good ball striker does, and it's required for so many reasons in the golf swing that can really help with ball striking. So first and foremost, what is it? It is a movement just before the top of the backswing where the whole body just shifts or falls back towards the target. And I'm going to use this board just as a demonstration, just to show it. This is a downshift board. I'm not sponsored by them, but they make really good products. So I'm using this just to show the recentering move. So if I'm at setup here and I start with a little more pressure on the front leg, as I move into the backswing, pressure moves into the trail leg, and then as I get to the top, the recentering move would occur. As the club is gathering at the top, we would fall back towards the target. The big mistake players make with this when they try to do this move is they just excessively go way too much towards the target and then they get way out in front of the ball, which can cause a lot of problems. So this move is minimal. It's maybe like an inch, maybe 2 inches max that we're feeling. So we're getting to the top. As we get to the top, we just fall back slightly and then the arms start to come down. So the biggest mistake amateur players make is they get up to the top and the arms start to go violently before the lower bodies even had a chance to move. So we need a lot of patience when starting a downswing, and that's one of the reasons you'll hear a lot of people say, well, the pros make it look effortless, but they still hit it really far. The reason is they're using the ground effectively and getting in the right sequence. Most amateurs get their sequence way off because they either don't shift enough, or when they shift, the arms then go really quick because they're trying to make an attempt to gain speed. Whereas we really need to be patient. We don't want all the speed to happen up here. We want to get to the top, gently fall back, and then let the arms come through. So it's creating like a whip-like effect where the lower body's going first, then the chest, then the arms. So the thing that this can do and help your ball striking is, number one, it's going to help your sequence. So we're getting lower body moving first, then chest, then arms, which is the proper sequence to generate efficiency and power. The second thing that it's really going to do for most players is it's going to improve the impact position. So one of the main things that players ask me is, how do I compress the golf ball and get into this position of impact where the hands are slightly ahead, pressure's on the front foot, there's shaft lean, and I'm hitting down and through the ball with good compression? Well, the key is, if we can get back into this left foot before the arms come down, because the pressure's up here, it has now moved my low point up in front of the golf ball. So now it makes it much easier to get in a good impact position where I've got a lot of shaft lean and compression. If I never recenter and get back towards the target and the arms come down, when I'm back here, the low point is now behind it. So when I release it, one, I'm either going to chunk it or thin it, depending on if it hits the ground or not. And then number two is, as it gets to the ball, you'll see that the angles start releasing and then there's no shaft lean. So now I've lost all that compression. I've added loft to the club, so I've turned what is a 9-iron into a pitching wedge, whereas when I can recenter and get back to here, I've turned a 9-iron into like an 8 or a 7-iron. And that is one of the main reasons that the pros hit it a lot longer than amateurs, is because they can de-loft the club efficiently with good speed so that the ball goes a lot longer and it's a more solid strike. So one little thing that I can show with this board would be, Stance width has a big role in this. So the wider my stance is, the easier it is to move side to side. So you'll see when I'm standing on this, I can shift really easy just by putting a little bit of pressure. The narrower we get, it's really hard. I really need to push down a lot more than I was when I was wide to shift the weight. So obviously there's a sweet spot. We don't just want to go super wide so that we can move towards the target, because as we get too wide, it then makes it more difficult to rotate, and then if we don't rotate enough in the swing, that's going to cause some other issues. So we need to try and find a sweet spot where we can still shift pressure really easily, but we can still rotate really easily. So if you're working on this, I want you to play around with your stance width and see what gives you a good blend of pressure shift side to side, as well as still being able to rotate your hips and upper body with that. Obviously, if we go too narrow, it's hard to move side to side. It's really easy to rotate. If we're way too wide, it's easy to move side to side, but then it makes it difficult to rotate. So that would be one thing to keep an eye on. And as you practice it, an easy drill that we can do would be set up to the ball, get a little more pressure on your front foot, get into the back foot just before we get to the top, or you can kind of pause, shift back, and then swing through. So it's a very deliberate step-by-step drill where we're going up to the top, shift, and then swing through. And then we're getting in that sequence of lower body shifts first before the arms come down. And that will really help if you're a player who gets to the top and then the arms just go immediately. That drill will really help, and it'll help you get in the right sequence. So again, just to sum up, recentering, it's not a massive movement, but it can make a big difference in your golf swing. It's simply, as we gather up to the top of the backswing, we gently fall towards the target, and then we let everything come through. So key points, just be very patient in transition and focus on shifting pressure into your lead leg before the arms come down. So hopefully this video helps with your ball striking, getting you a little bit more shaft lean and compression. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.